Could somebody like Mark Richards take a decent local driver and make them a contender? We'll dive into that today, plus talk Prairie Dirt Classic, the All-Star Championship battle, and more. Let's go. It's Friday, July 28th. I'm Justin Fiedler. This is Dirt Tracker Daily. It's Prairie Dirt Classic weekend. We'll get into plenty of dirt late model discussion here coming up. But before we do, let's do a little merch discount code for the weekend. If you use code PDC2023 when you check out at shop.dirttracker.com, you can get 15% off your order. The code will be live through Saturday night, so you have today and tomorrow to take advantage. The 15% discount applies to everything in the store at this moment. That includes shirts, koozies, and stickers. If you live here in the U.S., your order will also ship for free if it's $20 or more. So code PDC2023 at shop.dirttracker.com to get 15% off. I had a comment from my show yesterday where we talked a bunch about the talent that is out there at lower levels, and that I want to dive into that comment a bit today and get some feedback from you guys on it. Commenter Chris said, quote, "Let's be extremely clear. Richards could take just about any decent local driver, shove them in the Rocket 1, and have him winning in both major series. It's a certainty. Josh Richards proved it alone. The performance of other drivers pre and post house car also demonstrates this. Hell, look at Shep's fall off alone. He never set foot in the house. If he never set foot in the house car, he'd have 1/25 the wins. There's a reason for this," unquote. And I'm curious if that is a take that you agree with, that Mark Richards is some sort of kingmaker when it comes to drivers. To me, this makes it seem like the guys who have driven the Rocket 1 were nobody's ahead of their time in that car and then were nobody's after, which isn't really true. You can't get into Josh Richards' time before because he obviously grew up in that race shop. But after he left the Rocket house car, he did win a Lucas title with another team and finished top 5 in Lucas points 4 straight seasons, winning 21 times along the way. And Brandon Sheppard was a 10-time National Tour winner ahead of getting his chance with Rocket in 2017. He was a Lucas full-timer in 2015 and 2016, finishing 6th and 4th in the standings, driving his own family-owned B5. So he knew what it was to compete out on the road. I think that's no small matter here. And looking at Shep since leaving Rocket doesn't really feel like a super fair comparison just yet, as he's back to running his own team again. He switched chassis manufacturers. It's going to take some time for this to play out, but we are coming off of a weekend where he did win a $53,000 to win Lucas show, which was, I believe, his 5th total win of 2023. And the current Rocket pilot has certainly been elevated this year in that car, but again, Hudson O'Neal didn't come out of nowhere. Something like 18 Lucas wins before 2023, including multiple crown jewels and a second-place championship finish in 2021. I do agree with Chris that Richards and the team he has assembled around their very successful chassis can elevate drivers, but I also think that Mark knows how to spot talent. I think the drivers he's chosen were very strategic and were the right guys at the right time, and don't forget, both were already driving Rocket chassis when they were picked. Drop me your thoughts below. Let me know if you agree with Chris that Richards has the ability to just pluck any decent local driver and make them a National Tour contender. Thanks to Chris for his comment and weighing in with his take on this. Looking ahead to Fairbury this weekend in the Prairie Dirt Classic, this could be a good chance for Sheppard to keep his momentum rolling, obviously coming off of that win at Huset's, and this is a track that he's done well at in the past. If we use the race results by track tool, which is available with a subscription to Dirt Tracker Plus, we see that Brandon Sheppard has won 2 of the last 3 Prairie Dirt Classics, with Kyle Larson in there as well in 2021. Bobby Pierce won the Lucas show at Fairbury earlier this year. That was back in May. I think based on recent results, I'd say Sheppard and Bobby Pierce will be 2 of the guys to watch for the win. And it seems like those guys with history at Fairbury have an advantage here. And I think a guy like Dennis Earp Jr. could be another one to watch. Ricky Thornton Jr. is coming in. He's obviously been scalding hot all year, but Fairbury wasn't particularly kind to the 20RT a few months ago with a 17th place finish. That May Lucas show, if you might remember, was that night that O'Neal tangled with Dennis Erb, and O'Neal later hit the wall, finished 16th. Obviously, Sheppard won those 2 PDCs with Rocket, so O'Neal shouldn't be overlooked here either. Pierce enters the weekend with a 56-point advantage over Chris Madden for the Outlaw Championship. That's about 28 positions on track. Usually figure about 2 points per position. Ryan Gustin, Nick Hoffman, Sheppard complete the Outlaw top 5. Tonight we'll get 4 25-lap showdowns that pay $5,000 to win each, with the top 4 finishers then each locked into Saturday's main event. The PDC finale pays $50,000 to win and then $500 for every lap led. So if you lead them all, you could take home as much as $100,000. This weekend is always a fan favorite with all the festivities, but if you can't make it to Fairbury, the whole weekend will be live over on Dirt Vision. In some dirt late model racing from last night, Jimmy Owens bagged the Southern Nationals win at Tri-County, extended his championship points lead with just 2 races left. Ricky Weiss finished second, while Donald McIntosh was third after leading the first 16 circuits. The Southern Nationals close out their 2023 season with a stop tonight at North Georgia, and then they'll go to Tazewell on Saturday. Nice to see Owens having some success after they struggled to start this year. Some other late model racing to check out this weekend includes the 10,000 win tonight at Lernerville. The Comp Cam Series has 2 shows. The ULMS is in action, and a lot more if you're looking for something that's not the Prairie Dirt Classic. We've been talking about this All-Star Championship situation a lot as the season has progressed here, especially in the last couple of weeks. You got Tyler Courtney on the sideline currently. Last night, Lake Ozark, things flipped in the direction of Rudeen and Zeb Wise. Zeb had already taken control of the driver championship, but last night the owner side changed at the top. Anthony Macri doesn't seem to be quite up to speed yet in that substitute role with Clausen Marshall, and Rudeen has been able to take advantage. A top 5 run last night was Zeb's 5th in a row, while Macri needed a provisional to start the feature and went 25th to 12th. In 6 starts, Macri only has 3 top 10s, and with I-70 and Knoxville looming the next 2 nights, the 7BC now trails by 6 points. Out front in last night's feature, Aaron Reitzel went on to the victory. Buddy Kofoid also led some laps in that one. But he seemed to work lap traffic, I think, a little bit better. He was able to snag the lead from Reitzel before halfway, but the 8 car, I think, was just better overall. Reitzel was back out front for good on lap 17. It was actually Reitzel's first All-Star win since Screven way back in January of 2021. Him and Tyler Swank definitely seem to be peaking here at the right time, especially with the Knoxville Nationals coming up. The next 2 All-Star nights can be watched live on Flow Racing. At Putnamville last night, the Wild Indiana Sprint Week continued. The track took some rain earlier in the day, and she was pretty juiced up. Caught quite a few drivers out through the course of the program. I think there were like 7 flips before the night was done. In the feature, Jake Swanson led flag to flag for his 5th win of the year, topping Robert Ballou and Brady Bacon. With Bloomington and Hobstadt still to come, Justin Grant has a very slight lead in the Sprint Week title chase over Bacon, while the Macho Man has stretched away just a bit in the season-long championship fight. If you're headed out to either of these shows this weekend, and really if you're headed out to a lot of different races this weekend, make sure to stay cool and hydrated. It's going to be really hot out there this weekend. Up in New York on Saturday and Sunday, the World of Outlaws sprint cars will be at Weedsport. The championship remains tight. David Gravel, Brad Sweet tied at the top right now. Carson Macedo 44 points back. Donnie Schatz and Gravel split these Weedsport wins a year ago, and Gravel comes into the weekend with the best average finish in the series, looking over the last 5 and 10 race stretches. Schatz could use a good run here. After winning the Kings Royal, he was 12th at Baps, 15th at the Grove on Friday. He was 9th at the Grove on Saturday. After this weekend at Weedsport, we've got the Ironman 55 coming up at Peevely, and then from there, it's all about Knoxville. Before we shut it down for the weekend, one bit of track news for you. Friendship Motor Speedway here in North Carolina shut down last year, but it's being brought back to life. Bobby and Jessica Kohler, who own that car that Jimmy Owens is driving right now, have bought the racetrack, and it will come back to life on August 26th as Ultimate Motorsports Park. The first event will be a $7,500 to win Ultimate Late Model Series show. More details, a website, and racetrack improvements will be on tap for the coming weeks. That's it for the daily this week. Thanks to everybody who tunes in, who subscribes, who comments. It means a lot to me that you guys take time out of your day to just watch and listen to this show. Hope you guys have a good weekend out there. We'll see you right back here on Monday.